You know those situations where everything seems calm on the surface, but behind the scenes, crucial decisions are on the verge of being made, as if a rare opportunity is lurking, waiting for the right move to trigger a significant change. Well, that's precisely the scenario surrounding Newcastle United at this moment. A blend of strategy, tense silence, and ambition has the fans' eyes fixed with anticipation on the corridors of St. James Park. Something is at stake, and it's not trivial. The atmosphere is one of reassessment, of seeking the next big step. After a season marked by challenges and lessons, the club knows that the future demands bold and precise choices. Among the most delicate decisions is the planning of the offensive sector. Callum Wilson, one of the team's recent pillars, may be on his way out. Liam Delap, who was once a target for the Magpies, chose a different path. Meanwhile, a powerful shadow begins to emerge on the horizon. The possibility of signing an elite striker, without paying a penny for it. Before we delve into the more revealing details of this story, I'd like to extend a special invitation. If you're a Newcastle supporter, passionate about everything that happens on and off the pitch, subscribe to the channel right now. Here, we deliver hot information with an engaging narrative, careful analysis, and an insight that goes beyond the headlines. Your subscription strengthens the channel and ensures you're always one step ahead of the rumors and official confirmations. Don't miss this chance to be part of our community. Returning to the current scenario, the name circulating behind the club's scenes is significant. Jonathan David, the Canadian striker, just 25 years old, is about to leave Lille on a free transfer, an opportunity that, in other contexts, would cause a rush behind the scenes of any ambitious club in Europe. After all, we're talking about a player with a keen goal-scoring instinct, impressive speed, and above-average tactical intelligence. Any club that signs him now would be making a golden deal. But is Newcastle ready for this? This is where the plot begins to unfold even more intriguingly. According to information gathered by The Athletic, Jonathan David has already made clear the type of project he's looking for. He wants a club with real ambition, that aims to win titles, compete for top positions, and, most importantly, present a solid and well-structured sporting plan. In other words, he wants more than just money, he wants prominence. And, let's face it, few projects in Europe have shown as much structure and ambition as Newcastle United's under the command of the Saudi fund PIF. And here's the main revelation. Jonathan David considers Newcastle's project as something attractive and entirely in line with what he's seeking for the future. In recent statements, the player said he's looking for a club with ambition that really wants to achieve something competitive, with a good sporting project. If these words don't perfectly fit Newcastle's current proposal, a few things would. The English team plans to build a new stadium, regularly compete in the Champions League, and establish itself among the Premier League giants, all of which are on David's radar. Now, if you're enjoying this content and want to continue following these in-depth analyses, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's a simple gesture, but it makes all the difference for us to keep bringing you first-hand news, exclusive behind-the-scenes information, and interpretations that help understand the true impact of each club movement. If you've already subscribed, thank you for being with us. If not, this is the ideal moment. Despite the mutual interest, what could be a perfect union faces an unusual obstacle: timing. Unfortunately, this may not be the right moment for Newcastle United and Jonathan David to join forces. Sources close to the club and the player indicate that the Canadian is more inclined to head to Italy, where Napoli and Juventus have already started talks to sign him for the next season. Both Italian teams offer what David is looking for: visibility, high-level competitions, and, most importantly, a central role in the tactical setup. For Newcastle, the potential loss of David represents one of those opportunities that slip through the fingers. With Callum Wilson's departure almost certain and Delap's refusal, the centre-forward position will need reinforcement, and finding a player of David's caliber, especially for free, doesn't happen every day. His technical profile fits Eddie Howe's playing style, and his decision-making ability would be a valuable asset in big games, especially in an increasingly competitive Premier League. It's worth noting that this information comes from reliable sources in British and European sports journalism, especially The Athletic, which spoke directly with the athlete. In other words, the interest is real, the contacts existed, and the opportunity came very close to materializing. Newcastle itself made inquiries about the player's situation, but the negotiations didn't progress as many fans had hoped, partly because David himself already saw the challenge of competing directly with Alexander Isak as a limiting factor. And this point is crucial. Alexander Isak is, without a doubt, the leading name in Newcastle's attack today, and as long as Eddie Howe's team continues to operate with only one centre-forward, any reinforcement for the position will arrive knowing that, initially, there'll be a substitute for a player of Jonathan David's level. This condition weighs heavily. He's at the peak of his career and wants to be a starter, actively participate, and make his mark week after week. At Newcastle, this immediate prominence isn't guaranteed, and that's exactly what makes the negotiation so complicated. The connection between David and the Magpies project shouldn't be entirely dismissed. The fact that the player considers the club as an environment with attractive potential already shows that Newcastle has climbed many rungs in the European football hierarchy. A few years ago, it would have been unthinkable for a name like his to consider the club as a destination. Today, that's a reality, and even if it doesn't result in a signing now, it opens doors for the future. In a different scenario, with more room for striker rotation or a tactical change, this story could gain new chapters. By the way, if you're enjoying this type of content and want to follow every detail of Newcastle United's behind the scenes, this is the right place. Subscribe to the channel now and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. The transfer window promises to be intense, and we'll be here to tell you everything firsthand. Your subscription helps keep this project alive and relevant. Join us on this journey. Meanwhile, Newcastle continues to monitor the market. The loss of Delap and the probable departure of Callum Wilson put pressure on the board to find an alternative that combines youth, technical quality and cost-effectiveness. Other names should emerge in the coming days, but none with the impact that Jonathan David could offer, both for his quality on the field and for the message his signing would send to the market, that Newcastle is ready to compete among the greats, on equal footing. And even without securing the Canadian now, the Magpies board can draw valuable lessons from this situation. One of them is that the project needs to continue being presented with clarity and ambition. High-level players are watching, considering, and, in many cases, becoming interested. The path is being paved. It's up to the club to maintain consistency and adjust the details so that, in the next window, negotiations don't end merely in good intentions. In the end, Jonathan David may not wear the black and white shirt next season, but his story leaves a trail of learning and reflection. The bridge between desire and reality is built on planning, timing, and strategic vision. Newcastle possesses all these elements. It just needs to align them at the right moment. And when that happens, names like David's will no longer be exceptions but a natural part of a club that is finally becoming the protagonist of its own story.